Elden Ring Nightreign is removing one of Soul's best loved features. Jordan Miller of a BGC. I kind of get it, but we'll get to it. Bear with me. Elden Ring Nightreign is removing one of Soul's series' best loved features, as the developer believes players won't have enough time to engage with the mechanic. Kind of tend to agree, Michael, but I got a different feeling on your side. We'll get to it. Players in Elden Ring Nightreign won't be able to leave messages for players or read those left by other players. This feature, which dates back to Demon Souls, allowed players to point the way to hidden treasure, leave crude jokes, or trick players into jumping off of ledges. Speaking of IGN Japan, director Junya Ishizaki said, quote, "You can still see the ghost of other players, but the ability to leave messages has been removed. The reason we removed the message feature is that in this game, where each session is about 40 minutes long," dude, that's a long session for each game, "there is no time to write your own message, or there is also no time to read a message written by others." End quote. Another significant change is that currently, according to the developers, foes defeated in battle won't respawn when the players rest at a site of grace. In the Souls games, players trade off the ability to heal and save their game at certain checkpoints for the downside of all minor enemies respawning. Announced on the stage of the Game Awards in December, Elden Ring Nightreign will allow multiple players to take on bosses in co-op gameplay. There is supposed to be a network test this coming month. Next month in February. Dude, I'm already into February. Like, let's get going. January's over for me. Not quite, but we're getting there. Dude, where are you at with this one? And I caught my perspective. When we're out there, when we're running around, I don't think we do have the time to then, let me stop, let me read this. Hey, let me stop, let me put a message down. You guys go fight them. I'm just gonna go write something on the ground.
I mean, it's always just been one of those fun little quirky things about Elden Ring, and to me, I'm with you, I agree. I don't think it's one of those where if you're with your buddies, you're like, hey, let me stop and read this. Everyone's like, what are you doing, man? But they're just making so many questionable decisions here, it's got me concerned, right? We talked about it right before the holiday break. Oh, there's not going to be two-man co-op. You either got to play solo or you've got to play with three. And everyone's like, what if I just have two friends? Now they're saying, okay, you can't leave messages. Honestly, I'd say the bigger change is the fact that enemies aren't going to respawn, right? That's kind of been that whole Souls-like thing. Like, do I want to rest and respawn everything, or do I want to keep going and say, all right, let me try and make it to that boss checkpoint. Let me try and make it a little further, but I know I can backtrack and not everything's going to be there. So I'm curious. They're like almost changing everything about that Elden Ring Souls-like that they have kind of made baseline. And so I'm interested to see what the reception's going to be like once we get that network test coming out, because they're starting to remove a lot of core features, Drew, and I don't know if I appreciate it. We'll have to see. I'm really hoping they backtrack on the duos thing. That's still the one to me. I don't need to be able to leave messages. Don't need to respawn the enemies. Please just let me duo, man. I don't want to be forced to do a single or trio kind of gameplay, but a lot of confusing things coming out, Drew, because there's some big shoes to fill, and right now I'm a little nervous that Elden Ring Nightreign is going to fall short of their expectations.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those, will this land, or is it going to be a miss? There's a lot riding on Nightreign, I think, when it comes to the Elden Ring. It's the first... No, okay, no, I'm going to take that back. I can take that back. It is... So we had Demon Souls, we had Dark Souls, right? We have Elden Ring, obviously it's in there. And now we're getting a sequel somewhat to that, but they're adding a huge multiplayer aspect to it. Very, very weird. Okay, first of all, let's take out the messages. Why would you do that? Especially if you can go single player. Dude, you can go solo.
Yeah.
So if I'm out solo, can't I just still write down the message? Like I'm solo now. So now you do have the time if you have a break in between fighting off enemies and stuff like that. 40-minute sessions, Michael. How does that hit you, though?
That's, I feel honestly like a bit small, right? Like I feel like, especially in Elden Ring, I mean, at least maybe it's because I'm not very good at these Souls-like games, right? Because it feels like for me, like, yeah, it's 30 minutes to get to the next boss, but then the boss is going to take me an hour, right? You know, it's not like one of these where the boss is super easy. I would assume the normal session's like hour and a half to 2 hours just to the time. Because, well, again, in normal Souls-likes, right, you rest, everything's going to respawn, so you're kind of like, I want to push forward. I want to get to that boss checkpoint. Maybe that's different now that enemies aren't respawning, but I'm shocked it's that small. That, to me, feels a little shorter. I would have thought it would have been at least over an hour in Souls-likes, but, again, maybe that's just because I suck and I can't kill anything the first try.
That's fair. That is definitely fair. Yo, we want to hear from you guys, though. Hit us up over on our socials, ITG TV Daily. Does this matter to you? Do you still want to leave messages?